Ever play an online game and come up against someone who's just, like, way too good?
Yeah, definitely.
Makes you wonder if you're up against, like, a secret AI or something.
Right, or those images you see online, crazy detailed, totally realistic, and then you find out they were made by a computer.
That's what we're diving into today, the world of machine learning. It's changing everything.
It really is, and it's not just games and art either. We're talking everything from healthcare to self-driving cars, even, I don't know, maybe writing poetry.
Okay, now that's a curveball. But first things first, for anyone who's not knee-deep in this stuff every day, what is machine learning? Like, at its core.
So imagine instead of giving a computer step-by-step instructions, you basically give it a ton of data and say, figure it out.
Go learn.
Exactly. We're basically teaching computers to learn from data, just like humans do, but on a whole other level.
So instead of programming a computer to, say, write a song, we're saying, here's every song ever written, go nuts.
Pretty much. It's like giving someone a fish versus teaching them to fish.
Okay, I like that. Now, I've heard there are different flavors of machine learning. Supervised, unsupervised. It gets kind of confusing.
Right. It's not one size fits all. Think of supervised learning like training a dog. You give it commands, reward it when it gets it right.
And eventually it learns to sit or stay because it knows it'll get that treat.
Exactly. In machine learning, we do something similar with labeled data. We show the computer a picture and say, this is a cat, show it another picture, this is a dog. Over time, it learns to recognize those patterns.
Ah, so that's how our email knows what's spam and what's not. It's seen a lot of spam in its time.
You got it. Spam filters are a classic example of supervised learning. Then there's unsupervised learning, which is more like giving a kid a giant box of Legos and saying, go wild.
No instructions, just pure creative chaos.
Exactly. We let the algorithm find the patterns and relationships in the data on its own.
And that's useful for?
Tons of things, like grouping customers with similar shopping habits or spotting those really subtle trends in data that we humans might miss. Then you've got reinforcement learning, which is all about trial and error.
Like learning to ride a bike. You fall a few times, figure out what not to do.
Exactly. Self-driving cars use this a lot. They learn from every mistake, every near miss. And then there are those AI systems that can beat, like, grandmasters at chess.
Yeah, the ones that make you question if anything is truly random anymore.
Right. It's pretty wild. But all of this, everything we've talked about, relies on something absolutely crucial.
Let me guess.
Data.
Ding, ding, ding. Data is the fuel, the lifeblood of machine learning. The more you have and the more diverse it is, the smarter your models become.
It's like the saying, garbage in, garbage out, right? Feed it bad data, get bad results.
100%. And it's not just about having mountains of data. It needs to be cleaned, organized, prepped for the algorithm to digest.
So no pressure data scientists of the world, but you're kind of the chefs of the AI world.
I like that analogy. Just like with cooking, the quality of your ingredients makes all the difference. Okay, this is already blowing my mind and we're just getting started. But I'm a visual person. Got anything for us visual learners out there? What about AI that creates, like, images and art?
Oh, get ready to have your mind blown wide open. We're talking about generative AI now, specifically tools that can create stunningly realistic images from nothing but text prompts. Ever heard of DALL-E 3 or MidJourney?
Wait, are those the tools where you can basically type in something like a cat wearing a monocle, riding a unicorn on Mars, and it'll just create a picture of it?
Yep, pretty much. And not just some blurry, pixelated mess. We're talking photorealistic images, often indistinguishable from something created by a human artist.
See, that's the stuff that really gets me. This is way beyond just a cool party trick, though. This has got to have massive implications for tons of different industries.
Absolutely. Machine learning is revolutionizing everything from healthcare to cybersecurity, even the way we design self-driving cars.
Okay, now you have to give me some examples. How is this actually playing out in the real world?
Sure, so let's start with healthcare. Imagine a world where algorithms can analyze medical images and help doctors diagnose diseases earlier and more accurately. That's exactly what companies like PathAI are working on, developing machine learning models that can spot things on a scan that even the most experienced human eye might miss.
Wow, so it's like having a second opinion, but from an incredibly efficient, tireless AI doctor.
Exactly. It's a total game changer. Then there's cybersecurity. Machine learning is being used to combat all those ever-evolving cyber threats we hear so much about these days. Companies like Darktrace use machine learning to detect even the tiniest bit of unusual activity on a network, almost like having, Digital detectives constantly on patrol, sniffing out threats 24/7.
Okay, that's both amazing and a little bit terrifying at the same time.
Right. And of course, we can't forget about autonomous systems. Companies like Tesla are using massive amounts of data and crazy sophisticated algorithms to teach their cars to navigate complex environments, make those split-second decisions. It's all powered by machine learning.
So we've got AI helping doctors, we've got it fighting off hackers, it's practically driving our cars for us. It's honestly mind-blowing to think about. But with all this incredible potential, there are going to be some challenges too, right?
100%. It's not all sunshine and roses. Like any powerful tool, machine learning comes with its own set of ethical considerations and potential downsides that we can't ignore.
Okay, we've talked about all the amazing things machine learning can do, but I think it's time to address the elephant in the room. This technology is powerful, maybe even a little scary, and with great power comes great responsibility, right? So what are some of the challenges? Where do things get tricky?
Yeah, you're right. It's not all sunshine and robots. One of the biggest challenges is this issue of explainability, especially with those really complex models, like deep learning.
Deep learning. Okay, that sounds kind of ominous. What is that exactly?
So imagine a computer program that's so complex, so many layers to it, that even the people who programmed it don't fully understand how it's making its decisions.
Wait, seriously?
Seriously, it can analyze mountains of data, make crazy accurate predictions, but we don't always know the why behind the what.
So we're basically just supposed to trust these algorithms to make potentially life-altering decisions, even if we don't know how they're making them. That's a little unnerving, to say the least.
It's a tough one for sure. It's like, imagine getting the best advice ever from a magic 8-ball. It's like, whoa, spot on. But then you're like, wait, how did you know that?
Okay, that's a perfect analogy. So how do we deal with that?
Yeah.
Especially in things like healthcare, finance, where the stakes are so high?
Exactly. That's why there's so much research right now on making these models more transparent, more interpretable. It's not enough for them to just be smart. They need to be able to show their work, so to speak.
So we're not just building smarter machines, we're building machines that can explain themselves.
Exactly. And that's just one piece of the puzzle. As machine learning gets even more sophisticated, we have to think about the ethics of it all, especially when it comes to things like autonomous systems.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that. What are some of those ethical considerations we need to be thinking about? Because this isn't just some sci-fi movie anymore. This is our reality.
Absolutely. And one of the big ones is job displacement. As machines get better at doing things humans used to do, there's a real concern about what happens to those jobs, to the workforce in general.
It's like that classic fear of robots taking over, right? But hopefully it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom.
Right. It's not about stopping progress. It's about adapting to it. We need to be thinking about retraining, upskilling people, so they're ready for a world where humans and machines work together.
So more like collaboration than competition. Finding ways for humans and AI to complement each other.
100%. We can let the machines handle those tasks that require, speed, efficiency, and let humans focus on the things machines can't do, things that require creativity, critical thinking, all these uniquely human skills.
I like that, finding that synergy. Okay, what other ethical dilemmas are on the horizon?
Well, like any powerful tool, there's always the risk of misuse. We have to think about things like bias creeping into these systems, potentially being used to discriminate, even if it's unintentional.
Ah, right. Because even though we think of algorithms as being neutral, they're only as good as the data we feed them and the humans who build them.
Exactly. So we need ethical guidelines, regulations, all of that to make sure this technology is used for good, to benefit everyone, not just a select few.
It's like we're at this pivotal moment in history where we have the chance to steer this technology in the right direction towards a better future.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's an exciting time to be working in this field, but also a time for careful consideration, ethical reflection.
Well said. Expert speaker, thank you so much for joining us on this incredible deep dive into the world of machine learning. We've covered so much ground, from the basics to the mind-blowing applications, the potential benefits, and of course, those challenges that come with any truly transformative technology.
The pleasure was all mine. It's a constantly evolving field, always something new to learn.
Absolutely. And to our listeners, we'll leave you with this final thought. As machine learning continues to advance, the question isn't just about what we can create, but what kind of world we want to create with it. That's something to keep in mind as we all navigate this brave new world together. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep exploring.